Hello, and this is an update to my How to Stop Eating Bread video diary, which I did stop probably quite a few months ago now. It's now May, and but I thought somebody mentioned it to me today, and they said they'd been watching them, and it suddenly struck me that actually I've really got a couple of really interesting things to say about my experience with giving up bread since I stopped making the diaries. So yeah, what's happened is, first, the great news is I haven't had any bread at all. So I gave it up in December, didn't I? So it's now May, so that's 5 months. But the really interesting thing about it is that I still get really, really bad bread cravings, and it's around so much, isn't it? And my kids have loads of toast and things like this. But what I've noticed is that I've been reading a lot about conditioned responses, okay, and that we have a lot of conditioned responses to triggers. So quite often you get a craving for something and then you have a choice. You can give in to it or you can do something else. But what I've been learning about in a really interesting book called You Are Not Your Brain, I don't know who wrote it, but I'm sure you can find it. But they talk about the fact that you can actually rewire your brain. So you may have a terrible addiction to bread and think you can't do anything about it. And in fact, it does feel like you have no control over your desire when that seizes you, that bread craving. But you can rewire it. And this, I think, is what's happened to me. And I get really intense bread cravings probably 3-4 times a week. Sometimes it's every day, at least once a day. But what I do, I go to the bread bin, I open it, I generally swear at the bread, close the bread bin and I walk out, and there's a voice in me that says no. And it seems to actually be beyond my conscious control, and I think that's my subconscious, and that's my conditioning, that now when I have a craving, my conditioned response is to go look at the bread and swear and turn around and walk out of the door. But I don't have it. So I'm not entirely sure how I've achieved this. I do a lot of things. I spend a lot of time journaling. I spend a lot of time trying to talk to my subconscious, and quite often I think, well, I have thoughts at times, what's the point of all of this? But then one day, suddenly, magically, you find yourself exerting control that you didn't know you had. So that's my story. I can't really give many practical tips. I suppose the only thing I can say is keep going, and it may sound a bit boring, but that's what I've done. I've kept going, and I've lost weight now. You know, I don't know exactly how much I've lost since I gave up bread, but it's really, the weight is really coming off me now, and I know that a good deal of that is due to not eating bread, because it's got its own hunger ecosystem and that I can't stop myself. So anyway, but yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself. And I'll put a link on this video to my How to Stop Compulsive Eating video diaries, because it's very, very linked to this giving up the bread. Okay, have a good day and leave your comments, or you can connect with me on Facebook. I've got a new Facebook page. It's facebook.com/The Shift Inside. Thanks. Bye.